It's the 6th of February 2025. Good morning from the kitchen table here. Like people say about buying the mail, I don't buy many papers, but I buy an odd one or somebody buys or sends me articles, and that's the usual things. Not all bad. There's an article there about the rise of the female farrier. So, I mean, women that love horses are now setting up businesses, shoeing horses and all that. Like, that's good stuff. Nice sort of stuff to read, and well worth it. Would like brighten up your day a bit. Brighten up your day a bit. A lot of women love working with animals. I see them, even the vets, they absolutely love working with animals. And it's arguably that there's a certain bit of a synergy with the animals. But anyway, that's it. I knew a blacksmith years and years ago. Him and his brother were blacksmiths, and the man loved horses. And I was talking to his daughter afterwards. He's long dead, and she says he used to love the horses coming in every day to get them shod and looking at them, and he just loved horses, and he was shoeing them. People just get a job they love doing, and he only had to go in out to his house to get his dinner, and that's what he spent his life doing. So it wasn't a nice way to live, and he was quite happy doing it. So anyway, we're going to move on to another situation here. That's the lamentable situation in Sweden, folks. And if I were to be here all night, I couldn't bring it all to you. I can't prepare for what's happening. Oh, the rapes, the murders. Oh, look, don't talk to me. I'll just read it out to you here. Migrants and the once liberal paradise where the Prime Minister now admits we've lost control. You can't tell them this. This is why I went for election, to try and contain and bring under control the migration. What is wrong? How did people in Britain vote for this? What brainwashing is going on? We'll just have a look at it anyway. It says, as Sweden is engulfed in a crime wave of rape, gang bombings, assassination, and even a reported lynching. Now, in one particular case here, there was three brothers, and one of them, the youngest fella, had a girlfriend, and this fella, a migrant, forcibly raped his girlfriend, and they went out and they hanged him from a tree. And you see, here is people living normal lives. Something terrible happens to their girlfriend, and then this provokes them to kill these people. And this is what the brutality of mass migration is, when you transplant one set of norms to another. In another case, a 9-year-old was attacked and raped. Here's the picture of the fellow that did it, and there's the child now in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives, of her life. But it gives a big thing here. Last month, I'll not deal anymore with the poor lads that hanged your man. They got their sentence commuted or whatever. But last month, the Swedish government announced it will, in future, only admit newcomers who promise to make an honest living and uphold the country's values as it tightened citizenship rules. So, right, it's slowly but surely learning what is wrong with voters. You people in Sweden voted for the creepy government that ignored this, that it was quite obvious that you can't do this. But I can't blame you too much, because here in Ireland, the people of Cappamon, 1440 voted for me, 1,000 voted for Lester Gordon, and about the vote was split about 400 for the rest. So you're talking about 2440. But 3,000 people in Cappamon are concerned about this in various ways. And 40% wouldn't come out at all. So the rest went for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and Sinn Féin, who are absolutely committed to more migration. Imagine up in Nobber, a rural country farming area with fairly good land, they elected Helen McEntee, and she's now Minister for Education, to promote her LGBTQ woke stuff. And if she could, she'd be getting more money from USAID to promote it if she could. Anyway, I can only tell you the sad facts. So, over the past century, Sweden has been Europe's #1 sanctuary for war-weary or persecuted people. Claudia herself came here, like others, to escape the fascist regime of the Chilean dictator. So this woman, Claudia, was the woman the mother of the three boys. And she came here to escape the war. In 2005, huge numbers of migrants headed to Europe during the Syrian civil war. Sweden welcomed 160,000 migrants, seekers from the Middle East, and gesture today. Now, they brought in a big heap of them. No assessment or anything else. So we'll not waste your time with that. It's an article from Sue Reed. Stolen innocence. 9-year-old Luna, top right, was dragged into the woods, beaten and raped and strangled by Asbusi Camel, left, leaving her seriously disabled. And there she is there. So that's it. Now, there's people here telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. That particular Gerard O'Sullivan and Coughlin's Tom, they crave this stuff. I don't know why none of you will tackle them on it. I would if it was me. As Sweden is engulfed in crime wave, rape, gang bombings, assassination, and even reported lynchings, migrants in the once liberal paradise where Prime Minister now admits we've lost control. You know, it's a pity there's so much suffering, but for the ordinary people, I hope you get more of it. I hope you can't live in your houses, that everything you have is robbed and thieved, and that they'll put you out of the house and occupy the house. That's what they were doing in Colorado. They were coming into houses and putting people out and occupying them. And it's doubtful here in Ireland, if you come home someday and find a crowd of migrants in your house, or anybody in your house, the guards will not put them out for you. You're left to civil action. Come in and say, oh, we're from a war-torn country, we're taking over this house. And there's a lot of people believe that, and I know the law. You can ask them to leave, and you can get this, you can get the guards. But if they come in and you there, what happens if you're away for 2 days and you come back and they're in full occupation? The law is not as clear as you might think. So there's a whole lot of stuff here, and I can't read it all. Angry at the police. Now, in this particular case, the family believe. No, go on. Sorry. In this particular case, the police were not acting on the fact that this young lad raped this girl, and this is what you get as well. And I believe in Ireland there's no police doing any investigations anymore. Much, not easy to find out. But I do know of a scenes of crime examiner who retired and told me that scenes of crime examiner go around to burglaries and that, and they can know by a burglary who probably did it. Just they know the track of the hatchet, and nothing was ever been done. And I believe that's the way the Gardaí is gone now. It's all LBGP, diversity, inclusion, and lads, you'll soon have guards coming up to you in fishnet tights and piercings all over their ears and rings, but they won't actually check or pursue crime. I've been doing that for 32 years, and I was good at it. So I know the effort that it takes. So now, so it's all about trying to get vigilantes and patrolling the streets and all of that, and on it goes. So now they're trying to control it now. Just 6,150 people were allowed in last year. Migration Minister Mara Fawcett is now even offering migrants 33,000 to go home. So that we have to pay to bring them in, and we have to pay to put them home. The amount, it is an about turn that chimes with the mood of the nation. Well, the mood of the nation's a bit too low. Now that's 8 minutes, folks. It's such a sad scene, and I'm a bit mixed up by the way I'm reading it. How can I read all that? How can I read all that? You monitor who comes in. You assess who comes in. And how come, if it was needed to bring in migrants 10 years ago, why is it not needed now? How can they shut down now? Surely the need is greater now than anything with Syria and everything like that. They should never have been let in here in the first place. And don't forget, here in Ireland, the Irish government refused to allow in Asi Bibi, a Catholic woman from Pakistan who was sentenced to death. They wouldn't let her in. This whole migrant thing is all a social engineering effort to try to win votes for the lefties who push this so that they'll win elections and keep out conservatives like me. And it's working. It worked. Roderick O'Gorman got elected in Blanchardstown. Sure, nobody voted for him. All over the city, they kicked the Greens out. They sacked 11 of the 12 TDs of the Greens, and they turned round and they elected him. And who's doing that? Only these crowd. Now, I demand that some of the woke women in Ireland come and debate with me. I want in on this debate. I want in on it. How can you come along and promote Muslims coming into Ireland when Muslims treat women as second-class citizens? I was in Oman and saw them. And women are second-class citizens in Oman. Explain that to me. Moreover, homosexuality is illegal in most places. And in Gaza, if you were a homosexual, they'd throw you off the highest building that was left standing. So there's a complete conflict. The whole culture of these countries is different to Europe. Why these people are not oppressed. And even if there is war going on, you have to put up with it. Oppression of local people like me and the windmills happens in different forms. We can't take in the whole country. What will happen with the new government in Ireland, I don't know. My own view is pessimistic. I think they'll bring in 2 million people into Ireland, and I believe that in the coming summer, in June and July, the tents will be up all around Dublin. And yet I haven't heard of one Foxrock, Dalkey, or any other part of South Dublin or Dún Laoghaire, Rathdown. I haven't heard of one celebrity or homeowner who allowed in migrants to come into their homes. I tried to advise migrants to occupy and take over the gardens of Mary Lou McDonald's house and Simon Harris, and they didn't go there. But maybe it had some effect. So this summer we need to be ready. We need to have an information for our migrants to go and where these people live, where the politicians live and the ex-politicians live. Eamon Ryan's living out in Clonskee. We need his house identified and an air code and let them go there. We're not talking about hurting them or doing anything. I'm not even going as far as to say that they should go in and live in his house. I'm saying there's gardens to his house where they can put their tents and put up lean-tos and things to let them live. And that's the proper approach. And maybe he'd have a downstairs toilet for them to use. Make the people who are the bleeding hearts for all this actually do something themselves to contribute. The EU is naming certain countries as protected countries, people where they assume that there's too much brutality. And some of these countries are holiday resorts. How does it pick that? What democratic say have we in selecting who's protected? And then when the people come from there, these protected countries, they treat our people and our citizens, our laws and our traditions as useless. They have contempt for us. Anyway, we ran the election on this and the people voted for this. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we have to ignore it. We see what's happening in Sweden, and Dublin is already gone this way. By the way, any American or anything that's thinking of coming to Ireland, Ireland is relatively safe in the rural areas. Fairly safe. Be careful. In fact, you have a bigger danger of being in trouble driving on the wrong side of the road. We drive on the wrong side of the road in Ireland. But you can, it just takes a wee bit of mental concentration. But in any event, there is a lot of Ireland still safe. I mean, Ballyjem stuff in Cavan's safe enough. The only thing, there's no electricity in it. But Dublin City is not safe. Dublin City is not safe. If you're going to Dublin City, you'd want to get some method of getting to your hotel. You're probably safe enough in your hotel. If you want to see the sights around Dublin City, and there are a lot of good sights, you could do it, but it's not safe to walk around under any circumstances. Not safe to walk around in any part of Dublin City. Any part of County Dublin is dangerous. Any part. But places like Newgrange and the Cliffs of Moher, they are relatively safe because there's still country Gardaí there who just do the thing the way they always did. So we let you go with that, folks. It's a pity that's the way. We may have to extend the warning to tourists to a bigger area of the country, but it could very well get to the stage where Ireland will be out of bounds altogether for people coming to visit here. If they're going to be beaten up and raped and attacked by God knows who, nope, the people in Ireland don't know who they are, the police don't know who they are, the only place they may be known slightly is the country they came from, and almost certainly some of them got out of prisons in some of these countries for doing depredation over there, and they see a young American tourist going around, she's fair game. I wouldn't like to see that happening. It's a terrible thing. So we need to spread this word that the best way, really, and the safest way to treat Ireland is stay out of it altogether. But if you have friends or that to come to, it's not that bad in the country areas. I just want to make that clear. Elon Musk has made the point that Irish people get stiffer sentences for breaking the law than migrants, and that is very, very true. That's very, very true. I quoted the case of Leonard Peltier, the American Indian person, Native American. He had 50 years punched up in prison for the murder of police. If they were migrants came in, it'd be 5 years and 6 years. That's the unfairness of it. And that's what the people of Nobber voted for. By right, there should be a protest in Nobber. The people of Ireland should assemble in Nobber some Saturday, and I'd go up and call out the government and Helen McEntee for what they did, and call out the people for what they did. Treachery of treachery, traitors. That's what they are up there. And I live among them and I know them. I don't give a damn what they think. But these people know in their own country, if they kill, they'll be hung. There's tough sentences in some countries, some of these Arab-type countries and foreign countries, because there has to be. And these bios can come here then, and they know they'll get kid gloves. That's the situation. Folks, we'll see you back for something else. Comment underneath. Goodbye.